All right, that was relaxing jazz music. This is thoughts from the deep state. Nothing real heavy here, just some comments and opinions. My opinions change, don't yours? I mean, are we going to let the media? I don't care if you're left wing or right wing. Are you really a fan of a media that is going 24/7 against your president? Don't get me wrong. I didn't vote for Mr. Donald Trump. He wasn't the guy that I voted for. I respected his business resume. I respected his entertainment value. However, we have never seen, I think, such a dedication to covering the president's every move and every wrong turn. Is that done on purpose? Does the media really support Donald Trump and it's not a left-wing conspiracy? And they're just trying to get people to have sympathy for him? Or is it the media is so, the mainstream media is so against the president that they have to nail him on everything 24/7? Crazy. Where is it coming from? Is the ex-candidates who are bitter, losing to Trump, pushing to have Trump evaluated for every wrong thing he does? Is it corporations? Is it rich bankers in America or Europe? Who is it that's against Donald Trump? Is it the left-wing people we see out on the streets protesting, and maybe rightfully so, protesting for some very good and honorable things, as we have seen? Being the liberal melting snowflake that I am, and it's a hot summer day, I got to ask, when does it stop and we normalize? Because we haven't normalized since the election. When I say normalize, it's still Trump 24/7. Is he that big of a divisive figure? With that being said, I think he's gaining support. When I talk to people, if they're not hard left-wingers who've always been left-wingers, they're like, why all this focus on Trump? The issues, we need issues solved. We don't need to talk about Trump 24/7. And we've got, right-wing media. I don't even want to call that's alternative media, and it's not alt-right. Some of those guys aren't in the business of what I consider, they're not into the discrimination issues of gender and race, but they're also not jumping on the bandwagon of left-wing politics either. But I wouldn't consider them alt-right in the definition that's emerging for defining alt-right. I won't even say the names of those despicable groups. I don't know people in those groups. I wouldn't associate with people in those groups. Being on the left wing, however, I want to clarify, because you never know how crazy people can get with their ideas and assuming someone is something they're not, and that's evil to do. Although I'm on the left, specifically, I consider myself a fiscal liberal. We don't even define that yet, because I don't think we've advanced our positions far enough to understand the real battle is coming down to money. The fiscal conservatives who really have no position on society, they're dangerous too, because they'll just see everything as an economic issue, that we're only economic entities. And if you're not doing very well economically, you don't deserve to be treated very well, is what it's going to come down to. They're not going to say that, because that just sounds wrong. But think about it. You've got these people I consider them right. And some of them are on the left too, though. They're always talking about your credentials have to be perfect for you to get a good job in competition with other people. So your credentials have to be perfect. I don't care if you talk left or right. They start talking about wanting to verify perfect credentials. And the left wing, as I see it, are actually going to hurt. They're actually going to hurt their constituency. Who is the left wing constituency? Poor people. People that have been to jail if they can ever vote again. People that have experienced a lack of education, people that have experienced run-ins with the law. This is why they're poor and they get bad results with the legal system. Now we're creating a system where you have to be perfect to emerge in it. Using the academic, and the component and the government component, you have to have a perfect record and be perfect to be able to achieve anything. And we're holding that against Trump. We did that against Bush too. And I thought that was very horrible of the left wing. Very horrible, because people make mistakes. We know this, and We shouldn't be just focusing on Trump's mistakes. We're wasting valuable time. Only rich people can have that standard. So is the left wing switching to the rich? Is the left wing only considering the rich people? Think about it. It sounds crazy, but we're hitting, we're just attacking for no reason. And the issues that are important is money in our pockets, opportunity to educate, opportunity to try again, opportunity to not have to pay all our money to the insurance companies. In some ways, Donald Trump may be representing some of the left wing or the poorer people's issues. And that's going to hurt the Democratic Party because the insurance issue has not been solved. I'm not sure if Obama was the most left wing president we had or the most right wing. It's still, the jury's still out. Don't get me wrong, I'm no Obama hater. Obama was a very smart man, smart enough definitely to be the president. There's no question about that. But in reading Obama's Wars, which I find a very interesting book, reading about Obama's wars, he took it to a level, he did some good things and I think he did some bad things. But there's no question that he took the framework from a right-wing administration, the Bush, and built upon that and changed it and tweaked it as necessary. He wanted to create continuity, but he also wanted to create an element of strength, which he showed. He showed that he was a strong military president. And the left wing held off criticizing him pretty much altogether. And this is the standard we're at right now. The left wing in regular media, mainstream media, is turning into the biggest supporters, I think, of the richest people, the bankers and insurance companies and those who buy ad space. We have to, if you're out there and you're African American, Hispanic, you're a woman, you have to ask yourself, I know you don't want to like Trump, and I don't like his budgets are horrible. The budget what he submitted for our budget, cutting science, cutting funding for education, I thought was extreme. I don't know if it was a joke. I'm like, this guy went to Wharton School of Business, University of Pennsylvania. That's probably where he got most of his talents to be able to have good English, to be able to write and read in the way that he has, mind you, his public school or private school that he went to. So we've got to look at this. We're really in transition. Attacking Trump personally and his cabinet might not be the best strategy. We need to back off and say, can we work with Trump and get good things done? Because I can see where some people are going to get crushed in the insurance thing. And even I don't think it's just about money per se. And are people going to be protected through their health care? That's great if they are. But then, what the left wing needs to do? They need to get out the message how much cheaper healthcare is under the plan through Obama for poorer people and middle class. If they can't do that, if they can't get to that, then we are actually Obamacare, which the Affordable Health Care Act, calling it the Obamacare, is really reducing everything to something simple. We can't blame the whole health plan on President Barack Obama. It is a consortium of Democrats that put this across, and it was with a lot of consultation. But I think it is a for-profit industry, when the people that should be making the profit, of course, are the doctors, nurses, the medical people that have the education and do the work. The insurance people, we have to question their value in this whole equation, and that's not being done in the media. The media is not questioning the very core existence of the insurance companies, which it should be questioned. I thought we were left-wing and we're non-capitalist. Not so. I think people should look at the mainstream media and say they're very capitalistic. Some of the right-wingers also are so dangerous in reducing everything to economic variables. And I only see another human being as an economic liability or an asset to me. That's crazy. When you're an old man and you're 90 years old and you need health care, and maybe you worked your butt off, but somehow you just don't have the money for health care. Maybe you got money stolen from you. You got ripped off in your wages. You got passed over for positions you deserved. You're 85, you're 75. You need health care. Do you want to be out in the street, crawling around in the gutter, not even able to walk and getting no health care? This is diabolical. The fiscal conservatives are diabolical. When they lay on the left or the right, I'm going to call them what they are. They're diabolical. They are diabolical, insane people. They don't want anybody getting loans. They don't want any poor people having money because they're a credit risk. They have dug a ditch for people. They want to kill people off like cows and cattle. I have friends that are right wing and they are dangerous. They don't know how dangerous they are. I have people that are just associates, maybe not my close friends, but I hear them and they are right-wing lunatics. They don't even know it because they're in their little soft spot. They're in their comfort zone. They can make it right now so they can talk this right-wing fiscal conservative nuttiness. I don't want to give more money to welfare. I don't want to pay for it. You're going to pay for all sorts of shit. You're already paying for all sorts of stuff for rich people and you're subsidizing Walmart and you want to talk this fiscal conservative nutty shit. Go ahead. This is Thoughts from the Deep State. This is short sound bites. I'm so glad you stopped and you listened to what I had to say. Here's some more jazz music for you as we close.